Alaska is a state located in the western United States on the northwest extremity of North America. A semi-exclave of the U.S., it borders the Canadian province of British Columbia and the territory of Yukon to the east, and shares a maritime border with the Russian Federation's Chukotka autonomous Okrug to the west, just across the Bering Strait. To the north are the Chukchi and Beaufort seas of the Arctic Ocean, while the Pacific Ocean lies to the south and southwest. Alaska is by far the largest U.S. state by area, comprising more total area than the next three largest states, Texas, California, and Montana, combined. It represents the seventh largest subnational division in the world. It is the third least populous, and the most sparsely populated state, but by far the continent's most populous territory, located mostly north of the 60th parallel, with a population of 736,081, as of 2020, more than quadrupled the combined populations of northern Canada and Greenland. Approximately half of Alaska's residents live within the Anchorage metropolitan area. The state capital of Juneau is the second largest city in the United States by area, comprising more territory than the states of Rhode Island and Delaware. The former capital of Alaska, Sitka, is the largest U.S. city by area. Alaska is best known for glaciers, national parks, the vast wilderness, northern lights, midnight sun, and cruises. Alaska is one of the most expensive states to live in. Most of its cities and towns consistently have a cost of living that is more expensive than the national average. And yet, with its magnificent scenery and outdoor adventures, moving to Alaska remains the goal for many. So don't give up your final frontier dream. Many believe that Alaska only has two weather conditions, cold and freezing cold. Contrary to popular beliefs, Alaska is pretty warm in the winter season, May to September. Temperatures can warm up from 70 degrees Fahrenheit to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, depending on the location. Alaska has some of the best hunting and fishing anywhere in the world. If hunting and fishing are two of your favorite pastimes, you've come to the right place. Alaska offers some of the most unique hunting and fishing opportunities in the world. There are a lot of job opportunities available, but unless you have unlimited funds, having secure employment in place is a must before you make the move to Alaska. Despite low levels of concern, 52% of Alaskans feel safe in their state, which is lower than the national average of 55%. And while most Alaskans, 63%, believe crime is on the rise, this state's residents are more likely to think that crime is decreasing overall compared to the national sentiment. Between its Great Lakes and seas, Alaska is home to 48 species of fish, making it an angler's paradise. Fish, reindeer sausage, king crab, yak meat, fresh oysters, wild berries, fry bread and akitak. Alaska is one of 5 Pacific states in the United States especially vulnerable to tsunamis, which can be triggered by earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, submarine landslides, or onshore landslides. Russia offered to sell Alaska to the United States in 1859, believing the United States would offset the designs of Russia's greatest rival in the Pacific, Great Britain. The spring and fall months in Alaska offer unique opportunities and lower prices. In our opinion, the best time to travel to Alaska is in June, July, and August. The best month to visit Alaska in July, when travelers will experience the best combination of weather and wildlife. Alaska has been home to various indigenous peoples for thousands of years. It is widely believed that the region served as the entry point for the initial settlement of North America by way of the Bering Land Bridge. The Russian Empire was the first to actively colonize the area beginning in the 18th century, eventually establishing Russian America, which spanned most of the current state. The expense and difficulty of maintaining this distant possession prompted its sale to the U.S. in 1867 for US $7.2 million, equivalent to $140 million in 2021, or approximately 2 cents per acre, $4.74 kilometer square. The area went through several administrative changes before becoming organized as a territory on May 11, 1912. It was admitted as the 49th state of the U.S. on January 3, 1959. While it has one of the smallest state economies in the country, Alaska's per capita income is among the highest, owing to a diversified economy dominated by fishing, natural gas, and oil, all of which it has in abundance. United States Armed Forces bases and tourism are also a significant part of the economy. More than half the state is federally owned public land, including a multitude of national forests, national parks, and wildlife refuges. The indigenous population of Alaska is proportionally the highest of any U.S. state, at over 15%. Close to 24 native languages are spoken, and Alaska Natives exercise considerable influence in local and state politics regions. There are no officially defined borders demarcating the various regions of Alaska, but there are 6 widely accepted regions. Number 1 is South Central Alaska is the most populous region of Alaska, containing Anchorage, the Matanuska-Susitna Valley, and the Kenai Peninsula. Rural, mostly unpopulated areas south of the Alaska Range and west of the Wrangell Mountains also fall within the definition of South Central, as do the Prince William Sound area, and the communities of Cordova and Valdez. Number 2 is Southeast Alaska, also referred to as the Panhandle Insight Passage. This is the region of Alaska closest to the contiguous states, where most of the initial non-indigenous settlements occurred in the years following the Alaska Purchase. The region is dominated by the Alexander Archipelago, as well as the Tongass National Forest, the largest national forest in the United States. It contains the state capital Juneau, the former capital Sitka, and Ketchikan, at one time Alaska's largest city. The Alaska Marine Highway provides a vital surface transportation link throughout the area and country, as only 3 communities, Haines, Hyder, and Skagway, enjoy direct connections to the contiguous North American road system. Number 3 is Alaska Interior is the largest region of Alaska. Much of it is uninhabited wilderness. Fairbanks is the only large city in the region. Denali National Park and Preserve are also located in Alaska. Denali, formerly Mount McKinley, is the highest mountain in North America. Number 4, Southwest Alaska is a sparsely inhabited region stretching some 500 miles inland from the Bering Sea. Most of the population lives along the coast. Kodiak Island is also located in the southwest. The massive Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta is one of the largest river deltas in the world. Portions of the Alaska Peninsula are considered part of the Southwest, with the remaining portions included with the Aleutian Islands. Number 5, Alaska North Slope is mostly tundra peppered with small villages. The area is known for its massive reserves of crude oil, and contains both the National Petroleum Reserve Alaska and the Prudhoe Bay oil field. The city of Utqiagvik, formerly known as Barrow, is the northernmost city in the United States. However, the respective Inupiat of the North Slope and of the Northwest Arctic seldom consider themselves to be one people. Number 6, Aleutian Islands. More than 300 small volcanic islands make up this chain, which stretches more than 1,200 miles into the Pacific Ocean. Some of these islands fall in the Eastern Hemisphere, but the international date line was drawn west of 180 degrees to keep the whole state and the entire North American continent. 2 of the islands, Adu and Kiska, were occupied by Japanese forces during World War II. Alaska is not divided into counties, as most of the other U.S. states, but it is divided into boroughs. Delegates to the Alaska Constitutional Convention wanted to avoid the pitfalls of the traditional county system and adopted their own unique model. Many of the more densely populated parts of the state are part of Alaska's 16 boroughs, which function somewhat similarly to counties in other states. However, unlike county equivalents in the other 49 states, the boroughs do not cover the entire land area of the state. The area not part of any borough is referred to as the unorganized borough. The unorganized borough has no government of its own, but the U.S. Census Bureau, in cooperation with the state, divided the unorganized borough into 11 census areas solely for the purposes of statistical analysis and presentation. A recording district is a mechanism for the management of the public record in Alaska. The state is divided into 34 recording districts which are centrally administered under a state recorder. All recording districts use the same acceptance criteria, fee schedule, for accepting documents into the public record. Whereas many U.S. states use a 3-tiered system of decentralization, state, county, township, most of Alaska uses only 2 tiers, state, borough. Owing to the low population density, most of the land is located in the unorganized borough. As the name implies, it has no intermediate borough government, but is administered directly by the state government. In 2000, 58% of Alaska's area has this status, with 13% of the population. Anchorage merged the city government with the Greater Anchorage Area Borough in 1975 to form the municipality of Anchorage, containing the city proper and the communities of Eagle River, Chukchi, Peters Creek, Girdwood, Bird, and Indian. Fairbanks has a separate borough, the Fairbanks North Star Borough, and municipality, the city of Fairbanks. Alaska has few road connections compared to the rest of the U.S. The state's road system covers a relatively small area of the state, linking the central population centers and the Alaska Highway, the principal route out of the state through Canada. The state capital, Juneau, is not accessible by road, only a car ferry. This has spurred debate over decades about moving the capital to a city on the road system, or building a road connection from Haines. The western part of Alaska has no road system connecting the communities with the rest of Alaska. The railroad played a vital role in Alaska's development, moving freight into Alaska, while transporting natural resources southward, such as coal from the Usabili coal mine near Healy to Seward and gravel from the Matanuska Valley to Anchorage. It is well known for its summertime tour passenger service. Cities not served by road, sea, or river can be reached only by air, foot, dog sled, or snow machine, accounting for Alaska's extremely well-developed bush air services and Alaskan novelty. Anchorage, and, to a lesser extent Fairbanks, is served by many major airlines. Because of limited highway access, air travel remains the most efficient form of transportation in and out of the state. Another Alaskan transportation method is the dog sled. In modern times, dog mushing is more of a sport than a true means of transportation. Alaska's internet and other data transport systems are provided largely through the two major telecommunications companies. GCI and Alaska Communications owns and operates what it calls the Alaska United Fiber Optic System, and, as of late 2011, Alaska Communications advertised that it has 2 fiber optic paths to the lower 48 and 2 more across Alaska. In January 2011, it was reported that a $1 billion project to connect Asia and rural Alaska was being planned, aided in part by $350 million in stimulus from the federal government.